Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 52 of my Agrarian Skies Hardcore Quest Let's Play. This game pack by Jadedcat is available on the Feed the Beast launcher. First off, I apologize if I sound at all strange today. I'm having some dental work done, and, well, my voice might be a little bit off for a little while until that's all complete and healed up. So, last time, I made some super bees. In between the last episode and now, I got everything moved over into the tree laboratory, and I set up a couple more super bees. I have my quantum bees producing a whole bunch of quartz for me. I also have fungal bees, which are creating for me some fungal combs to get my mushrooms flowing a lot faster. Fungal bees are made by combining boggy princesses with damp. Boggies are made with damp and marshy. Marshy are the default from the swamps type biome. All you need to do is take your... Oh, dang it, I'm on the wrong map again, aren't I? Anyway, all you need to do is set up some of your hives. Blast. Missed. Of the scented hives over here. There's a little swamp right here. Also, you get some guaranteed in the quest line. In any case, it's just the marshy princesses, and I believe you combine the damp with marshy and common get you your damp, and that's your starter. I also have over here soul queens. Soul queens produce me memory combs, which can make experience drops, so I no longer need to run the experience farm over there. I can just combine bottles of enchanting and set up a system using that. They also make soul combs, which create the soulful wax, which can be used to make soul sand, as well as a couple of other neat things, mostly involving magic bee stuff. To make the soul queens, I needed aware with spirit. To get spirit, I needed aware with attuned. And to get aware, I needed aware with ethereal. All of which we already know how to get. So, what's the plan for today? Well, I also wanted to show you how I had everything set up in here. I set up a little ME subsystem. I have an access terminal attached to a drive, a couple of storage clusters, a little bit of a controller on the floor keeping everything going. I am piping out combs into two separate centrifuges. In fact, I'm going to grab some of these and put them in here so that they can get a little bit more equal running time. And the centrifuges are exporting into that interface. I am piping out these shimmering and mossy combs, which don't have useful products that I want, into a trash can. And the most fun part, I have a cable running from the ME subsystem all the way underneath everything out here to an interface, and then a storage bus from my primary ME system. So anytime that I want to, I can access my entire bee system from my primary system. Also, I put up another wireless access point over here because I got sick of not being able to access my ME system wirelessly from up here. So I can do that now, no problem. And to store the princesses, I have a fuzzy storage bus on a filing cabinet advanced. So all of these princesses will get stuffed in here first. And then I can use my ME access terminal to search through them. As you can see, I've got my quartz pouring in, I've got mushrooms pouring in. All of this was just set up within the past hour, so it's already going at a pretty good clip. Now, we've done enough with bees and trees for the time being, so I'm going to focus on questing today. Primarily, well, first off, there is a bee quest that I want to hand in. I went through and completed the industrial upgrades because you've seen the recipes on all of these, and I didn't think you needed to see me crap them on screen specifically, and that's all there was to them. So I'll claim that reward. I'm also going to head upstairs, and I'm going to set up... Oh, I don't have a QDS handy. Here, I can just grab this one. And I put that QDS right there, and I'm going to set it to go with the flow. Liquid bees, because I have my 100 buckets now. All of the bee breeding that I did generated quite a bit of extra random bees and ignoble princesses, so I turned them all into liquids, and now they're all going to get outputted into that quest delivery system. Yes. Okay, good. Whew. Wasn't incrementing. So, 1 greater reward bag, giving me a potion, a fire resistance potion, woohoo, and an epic reward bag, giving me a flight potion. Wah, wah, wah. 2 full hearts brings me to 94, and sets me on my way. I also have fungus drippings completed from the mushroom rancher set I had set up. I'm going to take the left-hand reward bag, 2 more hearts for 96, a couple of spawn mushroom eggs, and an epic reward bag containing 4 runes of sacrifice. Not terrible, but not super useful now that I have my tier 4 blood altar already. I must be approaching the end of the map. I'm finding less and less useful rewards. Alright, let's get these deposited into their proper place. Now that everything's a little bit more spread out, it takes a bit more running. Good thing I have these epic boots to, well, this epic armor to keep me going. Okay. Let's see. Go with the flow is complete. For the hoarding, still processing. Need to get some soul sand. Need to get that even more storage. Need to get dirt collection. Well, I have systems for all of those set up. Slimy and Purple Madness don't actually unlock anything. Well, I guess that leaves Hell's Kitchen. Not so fast food. Well, bacon burgers. I have mushrooms currently processing as well. Seems we've reached a bit of a waiting game with most of our quests. You're a wizard, Steve. I could complete Epic Thalmic Power, but that is a side quest, and I kind of want to go for the end. I unlocked Hydraulic Guild by completing all of the Go with the Flow quests. So let's see about working on that. Let's see. We need to hand in a whole bunch of fluid-related items. So, let's go get started. Spend a whole bunch of resources creating and ultimately just destroying items. We need a 64K fluid storage cell, fluid transition panes, fluid interface, fluid level emitters, fluid void, sluice, fountain, transposer, and accumulator. Let's see what that sluice is. That is a mariculture item, which requires iron wheels, hopper, iron construction block, and that's iron and glass, some aluminum, iron wheel, what? One too many backspaces. Iron wheels are just iron and slabs. Okay, so we're going to start teaching my system how to make some of this stuff because it looks like I'm going to need to know how to make the basic mariculture ideas. So I'm going to need a jungle slab. Sluice, iron wheel. Here we go. Encode me one of them. Encode me the sluice itself. Well, I need to grab the aluminum that I actually have. So this is going to be a very menial task. I'll come back once I have this fully programmed in. Alright, got the sluice programmed in. Gonna set it processing to make my 64K fluid storage cell. And it's working its way through. Let's see. Fluid interface 4, level emitter 16. Do a search on fluid. Tell it to make me 234 interface and level emitter 16. Fantastic. Need fluid void, don't have. Sluice, fountain, transposer, aqueous accumulator. Let's go check the extra machines. Nope. And nope. Okay. So much for that. Transition plane. Can I use that to make the fluid transition plane? That would be fantastic. I had some plans for the transition planes that ended up not working out. Ooh, I can. That's pretty awesome. So I need buckets and I need covered cable. Okay, well I can craft buckets. Go get your walrus. And I can grab a covered cable out of my inventory. Or I could accidentally deposit it. That's also an option. Ooh, did I just need the one transition plane? I don't even know. I needed 4. Okay. No problem. There we go. Fantastic. Processing towards quest completion. What's happening here? You don't have redstone torch. You probably don't know how to make redstone torch. Okay. Simple enough to fix. I do have 16,000 sticks after all. This is not the greatest episode in the world, I'm sure. So far, rather boring. Well, I'm going to do something about that. Manual submit. Nope. Missed the storage spout. Sell. There you are. Alright. I'm going to get the rest of these items crafted. Come back to submit them all at once. Back soon. Alrighty. Got all of the rest of the blocks I needed created. You've seen the aqueous accumulator and the fluid transposer before. The fluid void, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a trash can for fluids, and it's made out of fluix crystals, ender pearls, and iron ingots. This is why I just use the QDS to dump things into, because it is practically free in comparison. The sluice from mariculture costs hopper, bit of iron, construction block, makes 4 of them. And this block is used to move liquids around. You can either take liquids out of a tank, put them into a tank, or, well, you know what? Instead of just telling you, how about I show you? Let me grab one of these tanks full of experience here. Or the vacuum hopper could grab it. That's also cool. And it went into my system somewhere, I'm sure. If I set down the tank, and I'm actually going to make a little bit of a hole here so that I don't have liquids going everywhere. When I set the sluice down facing away from the tank, well, it's supposed to. Maybe this isn't away. Hang on. I'm kind of learning as I go here. No, that was away. I think that the liquid experience just doesn't like the idea of being placed in the world. So how about I show you that again, using just a standard mariculture tank with some water. That's probably a good idea. Assuming I have such a tank available. I have an open blocks. You know what? No, I want a mariculture tank specifically, because that'll probably work with the mariculture sluice. Fluid tank is wanting me to have... oh, is it just... Hang on. This is being silly. Very, very silly. There we go. Fluid tank. Okay. Fantastic. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, folks. I'd apologize, but I'm just not sorry. All I need is a little bit of water. Now, as I was saying, if I have a bucket of water in the tank, I'm going to set the sluice down facing away from it. It will move the water from inside the tank to the outside. If, on the other hand, I have the sluice facing the tank, and I have a bucket of water facing towards it, or next to it, or something. Oh, you know what? That ain't quite right, is it? Well, that just destroyed the water block, didn't it? There we go. Now it's actually facing into the tank. You can do this. So one good use of the sluice, when used in this mode, where it'll pull a water block out of the world and put it into the tank, is in an infinite water generator. You could pretty easily actually set up the sluice right here, facing upwards, with the tank on top of it. And maybe not derp terribly. That would be great. And you could put water there, and you could go grab more water because you only brought the one bucket with you because, you know, you derp around sometimes. Another one here, and the sluice will grab up that center block that keeps getting regenerated and put it into the tank. Promise. This is what I get for trying to show you something that I expect to work, you know, in a simple, reasonable, logical, intuitive fashion. Because, you know, anybody can figure that out, right? There's no need to, you know details before I get going. It's not that hard. There. Now it'll work. So there you go. You can build a water generator out of a sluice. And it's probably a little bit cheaper than an aqueous accumulator, at least if you're worried about saving your redstone. In any case, I got 4 of them from the crafting recipe. I'll leave that guy there for now in case you want to play with him, since the world download will be available at the end of this episode. What else did I get that was neat? Oh yeah, the fountain. The fountain's pretty cool. So, let me show you how the fountain works. You need water for the fountain, for one. And it also uses power, because it's an MFR item and they always use power. So if I give it some power and some water, and let me show you how what you can do with it. Alright, here we go. Supplying water and power to the fountain causes it to do exactly what you would expect a fountain to do. It places a water block directly on top of it. I believe that you can interact with that by redstone signal in the way that you normally can with MFR. Unfortunately, placing a lever on the sides can be kind of futile. But if you grab that bucket of water, it will get immediately replaced. So it's just a really neat little way to supply water somewhere if that's what you're looking to do. And I would find it especially useful with like a buildcraft combustion engine setup, just because it's more clever and a little bit more fun than just trying to pump things in without any extra bonus like that. Not super useful. That's why it's, one of these end extra type quests. Alright. So I'm going to hand that all in. There we go. And then I get to claim my reward, which consists of a heart, a yellow heart canister, and a legendary reward bag. Let's see if this one can live up to its name. So far they have failed to do so. 97 lives, and a flight potion. Boo. Oh well. It's one less flight potion I have to refill, I suppose. Alright, where are we at? No more quests unlocked. 17 more for that quest, 13 for this quest, 12 for that quest, 9 for this quest. A whole lot of quests left that need doing. Well, let me think about this and be right back. Alright folks, so I did some thinking, and honestly, I'm not the sort of person that tends to start doing heavy side quest stuff until the main quest line is completed, or as completed as I am capable of getting it. I am not at that point. There is a lot that I can still do, especially in bees and trees, before I have things as completed as possible. So, I am making preparations for the, what do you call it, not so fast food quest, cooking up all of the pork chops that I can, because I'll have the mushrooms that I need for that sometime very, very soon. If I take a look at my mushroom supply, I have almost 500 at this point. The fungal shrooms doing great things for me. Quantum bees, well, they're taking their time a little bit. I need to wait for a couple of more princesses to appear. And the soul bees, I got another princess. I have about 218 soul sand worth from it. So basically everything is processing and just needs time. As such, it's time to work on the next interesting thing. And that next interesting thing, well, I mean, if you're sick of bees, it's not going to be very interesting for you. But tree breeding now, because it's time to get past bee breeding and into tree breeding. And the first step along that is to make the basic tools of the job. We already have the Mutatron. We need an alveary sieve, which I'm going to need to go back to my bee laboratory, or my tree laboratory, to get the alveary blocks. I'm going to need one of them. So, an alveary sieve, when spelled properly, you can see the crafting recipe, just some iron, and some woven silk. To get the woven silk, I need silk wisps. Well, the easiest way for me to get silk wisps is for me to look in here and grab out a common princess, which I have plenty of, And I'm going to take a forest. Oh, all my forest drones are in here, aren't they? Yes. I only have the 3, too. That's a little bit of an issue. So a common princess and a forest drone in the... There it is. Advanced Mutatron. Gets me... Ooh. No, I need common and meadows and forest. That's right. Apologies. Been a bit since I've done this. Forest and meadows. And that gets me directly to the leporine bees, which... Oh, I need lab bits. There. Which, the leporine bees, they produce eggs and silky combs. They do not have any breeding recipes, and then the silky combs can be centrifuged to get the silky propolis and honey drops, and the silky propolis can be centrifuged to get the silk wisps. So, I'm going to grab my leporine queen, and I'm going to get a apiary set up for production for them, right over here. I'll be back once I have that all set up, because you've seen the way this all works. Okay, have my leporine queens producing. Once those have a chance to produce some combs for me, I'll be able to finish up the alveary sieve. In the meantime, I'm going to make a sieve upgrade. Well, maybe. That might also require silk wisps. Let's find out. The sieve upgrade does indeed require silk wisps. Okay. Well, I'm glad I got these guys going then. So, spectacles and industrial grapper. Those won't be a problem. They do not require silk wisps. Bit of a run up over here. Alright. Spectacles. Very simple recipe. Just a bit of bronze and some glass panes. I'm actually maybe going to want another pair of these, because they are rather useful. So I'm going to make a couple stacks of glass panes for one. And for two, I'm going to make myself a second pair of spectacles, because I need to... Oh, this is a craft quest. Whoops. Oh well. Now I have a second pair. Not a problem. And the industrial grafter is a gendistry item, which requires a regular grafter, which is made with bronze and sticks. Which, somehow I don't have any bronze? I don't have any bronze. Now I have bronze. I'm also going to need a power module and 3 diamonds. And now I have an industrial grafter, which I'm going to charge up real quick in my energetic infuser. And make sure that this guy, yes he is, good, fantastic. Alright, just the upgrades left. So, let me go grip my... Let me give you some more power, that'd be good. And let me go way over here to get my silk wisps. Silk wisps take a little bit of extra processing to make happen, because you need to turn these silky combs in your centrifuge of choice, and they will produce a silky propolis. And it's not a guaranteed thing. Not by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it is only an 80% chance, which, not bad. And then I grab silky propolis, and I also tell it, well, you belong in one of these centrifuges. If I have much more production out of here, I'm going to have to get more centrifuges going. So that's all there is to that. Now I just need to let them run. And very soon now, I'll have all of the silky wisps that I need to get started on tree breeding. Back soon. I have now collected quite a bit of silk wisp out of my leporine bees. Some of it I'm going to take down to a carpenter that I have full of water. Well, specifically 27 of it. Which will produce for me 3 of these woven silks. And then I'm going to use the other 7 and those 3 woven silks to make myself the sieve upgrades that I need for both the gendistry block and for the alveary. So, sieve upgrade. Oh, I need a blank upgrade. No problem. And I also need the gear, right? Because I'm not keeping any extras on hand. Maybe someday. And then the alveary. You 3 and you. There we go. Back to bees and trees. Fantastic. All set. So I need lime, plum, blue mahau, reward bag, hill cherry, banana. So I get hill cherry pollen, banana pollen, a full heart, and a reward bag guaranteed. And then I can pick some form of pollen or a reward bag. Well, let's see what's required for the next quest. I need 64 Certus combs. Well, glad I'm making those. 64 mellow combs. Glad I'm making those. 64 energetic combs. I'll have to get making those. 1 essence of the shallow grave. That uses the soul wax I'm already making. Plantain saplings and blue mahau saplings. Alright. Well, I can get the blue mahau from the last quest with blue mahau pollen. Awesome. Now, here's a bit of a thing. This quest requires specific saplings. 98 lives. So close. However, because of some sort of difficulty with the way HQM accepts these saplings, they were not able to make it super basically any forestry sapling will count. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to hold myself to the fact that I need a specific number of blue mahau saplings and plantain saplings. To get plantain saplings, I need to breed banana sapling with teak pollen, or I need to set up a proper traditional tree breeding between banana and teak. And to get teak, I need silver lime with jungle. So I'm going to show you once how to do traditional bee breeding, just like I did with the traditional chicken breeding. I got chicken jerky, and that distracted me. You know what? I'm not even going to keep the chicken jerky. That goes in the trash can. So I'm going to show you once how to do proper, normal, standard vanilla tree breeding, and then I'm going to show you again how to use forestry to shortcut it. It's very much like the bees. It won't take too long to get everything that's required. I'm going to go tell my system not to be exporting its Certus and mellow combs because I need a stack of each of those, which won't take very long to create, but it will if I'm getting rid of them. There we are. Alright folks, that is going to be all the time that we have for today. Next time, I'm going to cover the basics of tree breeding, and then I'm going to show you how to use gendistry to get to your blue mahau and plantain very, very quickly, and if I'm lucky, I will complete botany and biology. Between episodes, I'm basically just going to let things process and run so that I have more quests available for completing next time, and I'm going to make some plans to start tackling some of these side quests. So, I hope you are enjoying the series this far and that you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please leave a thumbs up and let me know why. If you have not, please leave a thumbs down. Tell me what I can improve. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.